I am doing Banksy for my final project, and I'm me, Frankie Mickelson. Banksy's life. I am doing Banksy, who is found in the book on page 446 to 447. He is a street artist whose identity remains unknown, and he is an anonymous artist. It is believed that Banksy is from England since most of his work has shown up there. It is also believed that he was born around 1974, making him around 44 years old. And since I keep saying it is believed, it's because since he is anonymous, not everyone's 100% sure, and they're just trying to figure out how his art correlates with how old he might be. He also adores the work of Blake Layrat and reuses his old ideas. Banksy's work. Most of Banksy's art has a political activist theme to it, and his work deals with economic and political oppression, also sexuality, war and peace, and other controversial themes. For example, sometimes his work is satirical art with some dark humor. And if some people don't know what that satirical art means, it's kind of, you would see it in newspapers when artists make fun of government issues and make kind of a comic joke out of it sometimes. That's kind of what that means. He's continued on. He is also a film director. He produced the movie Exit Through the Gift Shop and also the Antiques Roadshow. He also tries to send messages about art with philosophy and politics. And in the summer of 2015, he organized an art project called Dismalland. It is a dystopia theme park built in secret. And going off of that, in the photos that I was looking at, he wasn't the only artist that had his work there. He also had around like 50 or 56 or so other artists that he put their work into his theme park. So Banksy's work. I'm going to show you some of his work through the years that he's done. Which I'll start off with the Mobile Lovers artwork, and it was sold for $563,404 US dollars. The Mobile Lovers is a couple holding each other in their arms, which you can see to the right. This is the picture of his artwork. And instead of looking at each other, they are staring at their cell phones instead of each other. And this is an example of Banksy trying to send messages in his artwork that we pay attention to technology more than our loved ones. And if we think about it, that is kind of how our society is now. When we do have loved ones right there, right in front of us, we spend more time on our screen and technology than we do with the people who we love and who care for us. His next artwork I'm going to show you is the Balloon Girl artwork by Banksy, and it was made in 2002. The artwork is of a girl that has let go of a red heart-shaped balloon, as you can see in the picture on the right, as I put up here too, to show you guys. And the meaning seems to be that she's letting go of many things, like our dreams, our desire, our childhood innocence, and a heart, and since it is a heart, which means love. It is talked about how the meaning of the image was to support the Syrian refugees, and which would kind of make sense if the meaning of what letting go of that balloon does mean is, if they are letting go of our dreams and our desires and our childhood innocence, it would make sense that it was to support the Syrian refugees. Another of Banksy's artwork was called The Kissing Coppers and was first unveiled in 2004. And again, it's right here to the right of my words and his graffiti work. And Kissing Coppers is an artwork that shows two British cops kissing, you see right here. and it can be seen and interpreted in many ways, but many people think that he is using his satirical art to make fun of policemen not doing their job because of certain things that were going on at that time in Britain. And also, I was looking into it, it can also be interpreted about finding your sexuality, identity, and accepting society, and how these two high up cops are accepting themselves to society and everything. The next artwork I want to show you right here to the right again of his work is called Bomb Hugger, which was made in 2007. Is a picture of a teenage girl in a skirt and a ponytail holding tight in her arms is a bomb. The meaning of Banksy's artwork can be shown with his satirical side, just kind of like it has been lately. And it seems that Banksy was trying to challenge the press and politicians to illustrate warfare in a positive light by advocating that it is the right way of action to advocate peace. Like I said, it was kind of his satirical artwork, but it wasn't really making fun, but kind of was, but it's showing that war and peace that I mentioned earlier that he does. The next artwork, I personally like it because I think that it is very creative thinking. It's called The Cardinal Sin, and it was made in 2011. And the Cardinal Sin is a priest statue that has his face taken off and covered it, and Banksy covered it with blank tiles. The meaning is that he designed it as a response to the child abuse in the Catholic Church a while back. I don't know how old I was, but I do remember the controversy and everything that was going over that, and I think that Banksy did a pretty creative job on this. And it seems to be another example of how he sends messages through a controversial theme that was going on at the time. And right here is the Dismal Land that I was talking about earlier about the secretive dystopia of the amusement park that he was making. And his work continued in 2015 when he made this. And like I said, it was also had other people's artwork that he's shown in there in the theme park if you go. It was said to be very boring and a parody of the real Disneyland, and it was the point. There's a lot of reviews about how much hype that this theme park had, but when people went, they were kind of bored and not really interested, and that was the point that he wanted it, because the meaning of Disneyland is that he believes that the theme park should be more meaningful to the people than just entertainment. And so that explains it a lot. His next work is something I found in the book, and it was on page 447, and it is the figure 15.14 and it was made in 2008. It is a worker removing prehistoric cave paintings by water pressure, and the book mentions that Banksy sees graffiti as art, even though people consider it vandalism, which this photo of his art is very deep thinking and creative. This can be an example of many things, but he is clearly sending a message to people and makes you rethink it. His historical period of Banksy's is, since people are assuming that he was born in 1974 and is still making art, he's still in the period time of making it. His earliest artwork was made in 1999, the Mild West work, which is the top right, and the bottom right was in 2018, which was for the protest of the Turkish artist's imprisonment. He made a 70-foot mural of the woman who was imprisoned for the painting, the destruction of predominantly Kurdish town with Turkey's flag flying over Rumble, which you can kind of see the woman who, if you look in the bottom right, that's who she was, and that's kind of those tallies are. She looks like she's in jail. On the way bottom right, it would say to free her, and therefore his work has been going on from 1999 to 2008, which making it 19 years. And here's my works cited.